Hey friends, I'm so excited to introduce you to the stitching die of the month, which is called the Stitch Scallop Card Front and Tag Die Set. I love that you get all of these frames, you get some rectangles, and you get a tag in the set. It is so useful for all types of cards, even if you don't want to stitch on them. So I've shown you a few examples here, one of which I've stitched on and cut the rectangle out of the center to create a frame. And then this one here, which you're going to see me stamp on in a little bit. I really love the design on the edge of these pieces. The first thing I'm going to do with this scalloped rectangle is to go ahead and stamp on it using the clear stamp of the month. There are lots of cute bunnies and chicks on this stamp, and I really want to use one of the bunnies to create the focal point of my card. With my scalloped rectangle on my Misty, I'm going to place that cute little bunny in the center of the rectangle. I want to make sure that I'm placing him low enough so that I can fit a sentiment at the top. I plan to color my bunny with alcohol inks, so I'm first using a light ink pad. This is Gina K Designs Amalgam Ink in Whisper to put my image on the rectangle in a really light beige. While I leave my rectangle in place on my Misty, I'm going to go ahead and color my cute little bunny with my OLO markers. I'm starting off with 07.1 to get that nice beige color all over my bunny. In the ears, while that color is still damp, I'm going to use R5.1 to get that nice little pink line. Then I'll keep going with 07.1 all over the bunny except for when I want that little pink highlight. Next, I'm going to use 07.3 to give myself that shading around the ears, around the edge of the face, and around the feet. I will then grab 07.1 again to blend in those shaded areas. I want my bunny to have a cute orange bow tie, so I'm starting off with OR 2.2 to get that overall light orange color. For the shadows on the bow tie, I'm using OR 2.3 right in the center. Then I'll go back and blend again with OR 2.2 to get that nice and smooth transition. The flowers that he's holding only take a small touch, and I'm using RV.2 for these. Once my bunny is complete, I'm going to ink up my stamp again with Gina K Designs Amalgam Ink in Obsidian. This will give me that nice black outline around the image and really bring it to life. I wanted my bunny to have flowers on both sides. So I'm following suit to add some flowers and color them in the exact same way. But I can only fit one flower stem on each side. So I'm selectively inking up only the flower stem closest to the bunny, and then I will stamp. I will keep everything in my mat as before to color with YO 2.2 and G 5.3. It really is very fast to color these flowers. Then I will ink up only that one flower stem again with Obsidian ink and stamp the image. I'm following the exact same process on the right side of the bunny to add just one flower stem. And partially closing the Misty door helps you to see where you're inking up. And this flower I'm coloring exactly the same with YO 2.2 and G 5.3 for the leaves. With my flower colored, I'm going to go ahead and ink that up with Obsidian ink and stamp to get that nice black outline. Now it's time to add my sentiment to finish off this panel, and I'm adding Sending Spring Smiles from the clear stamp of the month, and it fits beautifully on top of that bunny. I thought it was really important to stamp and color this rectangle first before stitching, just in case I messed up on my stamping or my coloring and had to redo it. If I had already had everything stitched, then I would have wasted all of that time. I'm using DMC embroidery floss in 3813 and following along the scalloped edges. Next, I've used the largest scalloped card front die and cut it from sage. This will fill up an entire A2 panel, and I'm just using my tool-in-one to get all of those little pieces out first. Then I'm going to use the same floss, that's DMC 3813, to stitch a tone-on-tone look on this card front. I really love the way this one turned out, and it just shows you don't always have to go for a contrasting thread. Next, we're going to use one of the rectangular dies from this set and beeswax cardstock to add another layer to our card front. I love the way the beeswax pops on that sage cardstock. I found that liquid glue works best to adhere this card front die to my A2 folded card because you have so many little holes around the edges and you really want to make sure that those edges with all the thread get stuck down. Next, I'm going to take my rectangular stamped and stitched piece. This is the focal point of my card, so I wanted to add some foam adhesive behind it, and I'm placing that right in the center of the beeswax panel. There is so much amazing texture on this card. I just love the little stamped bunny in the center and all of that beautiful texture added by the stitching die of the month. This club pairs so perfectly with the other clubs this month, and I hope you will give it a try. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to click the video description below to find the links to all of the products that I used to create this card. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to find more Spellbinders Club videos. Thanks so much for watching, and happy creating!